there's
The
a, I
assassination
mean,
of Francis
Franz Ferdinand.
Franz Ferdinand, his assassination wasn't what actually started the World War One. That's
Hmm.
just
It
that was just
was,
that
yeah.
gave people the go ahead to start it. You know, that gave people
Hmm.
the excuse to go to
Yeah,
war.
because
Yeah.
some of the big causes for, like, example, the start of World War One, the big reason why is you had these you had these
Yeah,
ties interconnect, that were essentially bad alliances with other countries. That it's like, hey, if you go to war, we'll go to war. If they go to war, we'll go to war.
well,
That
that's what it
type of.
was. Like the months leading up to World War One, uh, was it Austria-Hungary? They already had plans to invade Bulgaria. Like they had troops ready and whatnot. It was just with the assassination, that was basically just them saying, "Hey, there's our excuse to start a war with them." You know,
It's they
without making them look like the bad guys.
think of it like a line of dominoes. You knock one down, another one goes down, another one goes down.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean that's basically the thing. Like, I don't think you really can change a lot of things in history
Well,
for the better because it all will still play out.
Yeah, in a different way. Um, I
Well, like
mean,
similar, but
I mean,
yeah,
maybe with
like,
some
because
change.
if
we got,
Hitler wasn't born, though, like, none of that would have happened either.
Well, actually, yeah, that's kind of true because
in
he
s-
did take advantage
in
of a weak
Not laughing at
country.
you. My friend
yeah.
is still here.
Um, another thing too, in the case of September 11th and how different it would look. Honestly, there's this one channel I watch called Alternate History Hub,
Yeah,
and he did kind of a what if the world on the war on terror never happened. And this, granted, alternate history is all theoretical.
yeah,
It's just a speculatory thing, but this kind of falls in line with something that I think could have happened in an alternate timeline. Say it never does happen, we get a decade more of peace before everything starts to collapse. Because what happened in the Middle East with the Arab Spring, that wasn't because of the United States.
yeah,
Because you got to think the 2000s would have been a major period of tension for the Middle East because you have
Mm-hmm.
stagnant dictators that are holding on to power. And in the case of areas like Iraq, um, you have a dictator who's ruling over an empire of ashes.
Did he realize that he was, though?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
I
huh.
think for the one thing is
Insane.
obviously, I mean, the U.S. does have a lot of power, but I don't know if they would have the same amount of power as they would now because, you know, we have so much in defense for the U.S. because of that, because 9/11 showed how vulnerable we were
Oh,
to an attack on U.S.
I hate
soil.
the fact, like, so
Yeah,
many
I
bad things
understand.
have happened, but, like,
Hmm.
if so many bad things didn't happen, then we probably wouldn't have, like,
Yeah,
everything we have now. And, like,
because
lots of friendships wouldn't have been made either.
the thing is like nuclear missiles or not. Up until September 10th, 2001, we relied on the old doctrine of there are two oceans separating us from a lot of the other powers of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you
Well,
have down
yeah,
south? Inhospitable desert. What do you have up north? A strong U.S. ally, and
yeah,
also Arctic cold.
Oh, I thought that was Ned Flanders.
yeah, that too. But
That
the
too, but
thing was is that
Ned.
if you look at a lot of those like documentaries on 9/11 and whatnot, there are like a lot of high-ranking officials and generals that say like, "Oh, 9/11 was a real wake-up call, just showing how vulnerable we were."
yeah,
Because at that point in time, everyone at the U.S. was like, "Oh, we're number one. We, there's two
Still
oceans
do that.
separating us, so no
yeah,
one would dare try to attack us
yeah,
because
because
of how far we are."
yeah,
But
because
then that
like I
showed
said,
us.
it rode on that old way of thinking of we're separated by 2 oceans.
Yeah, they're not gonna touch us because we
Even
would know, but that proved
well, the ocean
them.
can't really do shit, and that's been proven so many times.
Yeah, I mean, like, if a naval fleet is coming to U.S., obviously, we would
You'd lock and
somewhat
load.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, say if China or Russia wanted to invade, we'd see them coming. You know, because let's just face it, even pre 9/11, we have eyes almost everywhere.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, even stuff like the U-2 bomber, that stuff has been in commission since the 50s.
I mean,
They
stuff
were
that's
using that.
happening in Ukraine, they're using our equipment, and some of the shit
Yeah.
over there is just like unreal. What I've been seeing, it's just like, I can't just fucking
Yeah.
can't.
A lot
I
of
think-
our inventions aren't good too. Like,
Yeah, but at the same time, all of our stuff that we have is not brand new. Like the F-22 Raptors, that stuff's been in service
That's
since the 70s.
its first test flight was like in the 90s and the Raptor itself was put into service in 2005.
Not like
not
as I'm
the
not trying to
F-22
trash
itself, but
Russia here, but throwing your troops out without anything,
yeah,
the elders will even tell you, the ones that ran from Russia is like, okay, I get why they're doing it because it worked for World War II. But see,
not
you
everything
can't
that worked
check.
back then though is gonna work now. Like,
Well,
Yeah,
that's what he's trying
different
to say.
strategies, different weapons, different era, different messed up teenagers.
Well, I can say this for sure.
Trying to say, the elder was saying, he's like, Putin, you dumb shit. It's a different time era. That's not gonna work, you dumb.
In
Yeah,
World
the
War II,
file
you didn't
line
have
doesn't work.
yeah, in World War II, you didn't have unmanned drones.
Yeah, and you obviously didn't. Yeah, you didn't have tiny drones that could drop bombs. But at the same time,
Also, there's like
yeah, because they still have the same thing
With the
from World War II, where it's just one single file line with the guy at the front holding the gun.
yeah, and with like new technology now too in the medical field, like people can recover more from wounds and stuff, and then if they want to, they can go back fighting, but with more knowledge, so they'll be a fiercer opponent most of the time.
And the thing is, with the World War II strategy, I mean, basically, I know it wasn't exactly just a huge horde, but I mean, let's face it, in the most brutal battles in World War II involving the Soviet Union, you had people at the back of the line with guns that made them more afraid of getting shot by their commander than getting shot by the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if you're in the back and you're like trying to fight too, like you have to try and not shoot your comrades in the front.
Well, I mean, they're two, as I told Chris, they're too tribal, okay? They're pretty much a bunch of tribesmen still wearing suits, essentially. You know what I mean? Because Russians, they're very traditionalist. I know that deep down, even on my own, coding here. I'm not for all the tech shit either, but
But yeah,
Uh,
it just proves to
I'm
show.
sorry, when you're living in the modern world, you're going to have to upgrade or you're going to be extinct. There's no answers or buts here, you know?
And
I'm
like
a tradi-
and a lot of the people too are just normal people that got thrown into having to do this too.
It's about to
like-
happen on the 17th again, too. Just a lot quieter.
Like a lot of the soldiers just get thrown into this and like drafted without wanting to.
Oh wait, you're talking about mobilization for
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm talking
Yeah.
about modern times, 17th. And this month, they already brought down the digital curtain. He says, "Oh, it's gonna be done by the April. Hey, yeah, you have plenty of time." That was a ploy. No, it's already up and live, man.
Wait, what is?
The digital footprint. He's gonna make sure he doesn't make the same mistake twice. Once he said, we're gonna do mobilization," everyone scattered quick, fast. Like he couldn't keep track. But now he has a digital footprint. He's been having it. He has it live already. So he's waiting for everyone to hit the borders, and he's gonna drag them to fucking war. That's what he's gonna do. So
Like at this point, like they don't
Like I said,
have
it's on the
any
17th.
choice. It's like they don't even have a warning it's gonna happen.
Now China's doing shit too, because my friend got online specifically and warned me. He's like, I don't know what they're exactly doing, but it's not good. He's like, you have no connections to me other than No Man's Sky. I was like, great. I was like, what do you want me to do? He's like, just prepare. He's like, I don't know what's gonna exactly. I was like, fuck. So, I don't know what's
I
going on
mean,
over in China either, but
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at
Honest-
all
wouldn't
if,
surprise me either. But he was worried because he
Honestly,
doesn't
no
want us.
one knows
I mean-
exactly what's happening
Yeah.
in their own country. Like,
because it's just like, it wouldn't surprise me if they got eyes on Taiwan.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I just know he was worried about, losing communication and me hating him. I said, no, I don't. I said, I only hate the governments, if anything. I said, when I say I hate something, it's usually involving 100%
a
the
lot
government.
of times too, like the
Citizens
government
have nothing to do
doesn't ask the citizens what they would want. They're just like, oh, give me more, because they're like greedy mother effers.
Oh yeah, and that's what Putin's doing right now. He's just splurging on to all this war stuff, but he's actually digging into other people's bank accounts and shit just to do it, and he don't care.
I mean,
He's that bad.
you remember that one YouTuber that I showed you, Perun?
Yeah, that's the statistical stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing is like, the type of data we're getting from that and the kind of shape the Russian military's in. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if half of their if they hit the big nuke button, I wouldn't be surprised if half of their nukes didn't even launch.
It's not even that. One of the elders says him thinking about it. He's like, I was worried about it early, like earlier in last year. He says, but now looking at it, he's like, I'm getting a lot better. So, it's that Inside Russia guy.
Yeah.
He's very
Constantine.
informative.
Yeah, Constantine. That
Yeah,
guy.
Constantine. He's really good with all that stuff, and it was interesting watching the last 3 days of stream. I haven't seen the one tonight, of course, but
I haven't
That's
seen him lately, but
watch
you know,
watch one, part two, and then the mobilization one. He'll tell you. He'll inform you, man. It's not.
yeah.
That's the thing though with the war and stuff. The war has shown that Russia isn't a threat that we thought it was, and China is the actual threat that's been lurking in the shadows.
That's the problem because the Constantine says I mean, recently China has finally gotten onto our radar, even. So he's
Yeah.
like, okay, huh?
Well,
Well,
that's because our government sucks. It's like
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't care. They will sell us out.
Oh
in
yeah.
A minute.
I mean, let's face it, because
Well, that's why my
with
friend was worried about
with
me.
all this with all this trade going back and forth between China and the West, we made them rich, and what do? They build a warship.
yeah, but see, that's the
Yeah,
great
that's a
thing is that
peace-loving nation.
Well, that's
I think they are a threat.
that's
but
why
as
we
in
shouldn't give like
now-
foreign countries a ton of fucking money, because more than likely they're gonna use it against us somewhere along the fucking line.
Well, it doesn't help that we're sitting there going, we are beating our chest, we are best. That doesn't help either. You don't know how many countries we pissed off just because we
Like,
did that. Oh god.
Yeah, the
I
thing
know
is,
our
China-
phrase. I know our phrase is like America is great and all, but like we're like not even great in anything except for like mortality rates and all and obesity and that shit. Like
No,
our
we-
government has let us fall down a rabbit hole.
It's
They
still
don't
not
care.
that bad. Compared to some of the other countries I know, trust me, it's not
No.
as bad.
Yeah, don't. When you actually look at other countries, you realize how good we actually have it, and also, we we do seem like we are falling apart, and China can wipe us out instantly by stopping all trade, but like military-wise, the U.S. has got stuff. My uncle, he works for Boeing. He was telling me this kind of stuff.
No,
Classified stuff,
like
but obviously not,
military
like,
wise,
classified.
yeah, we're like good, but like our country mainly runs right now on trade and shit.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why, if China really wants to, they could shut down all trades and leave us floating with nothing. But we got stuff that is highly classified that can do some pretty impressive stuff.
In a conventional war between the U.S. and China, the U.S. would definitely have a black eye, but we would ultimately come out on top. And this is just a conventional war we're talking
Well, I
about.
don't know what they have on the other side though either.
Well, right.
That's the
As
thing.
far as I'm concerned, they're using homebrew to try to lower the
Well,
numbers.
right now it seems like this country is going back into another great fucking depression, though.
No,
And-
we
we're
are.
not.
We're
We
having
are
problems
not.
with economics, but so is the rest of the world. We really are all having issues with
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
We're-
inflation is a worldwide
Yeah,
thing. It's not just
Inflation has
There's
like
inflation and
destroyed
stuff like that, but we are
everyone.
not going into a depression. We are not going into recession. I know I'm sounding annoyed at that because I am, because I always have to hear that from CNN, constantly saying
Oh,
we're going.
I
through a
don't.
recession.
I don't watch CNN. I don't watch the news.
Yeah, no, I have to, because in my history we watch CNN 10 every Friday, and every single report is about a possible recession, but
And
we are not going into one.
yeah.
So
I've
I don't even
I-
want to hear that.
Well,
I scroll over like news headlines when I'm at work and things are slow. But I've heard that we're going into recession. You said that 6 months ago. We're going to You said that a year ago. We're
Well,
going
that's the thing. We're
You
not
said that a year and a half ago.
like the arguments that they're saying are horrible. Like they were saying, like, oh, mass employment, mass layoff in the tech industry. The tech industry makes up 2% of the entire job market of the U.S.
also, if they want to like go in and like the unemployment thing, that's because they're making like robots and shit that's taking our jobs too, though.
Yeah, well, massive layoff is a sign of recession, but their argument is saying that 2% of the job market is getting laid off. That's not going to affect the entire country.
If
So
you had numbers like in 1929, then yes.
yeah, if you had the same numbers as in like 2008 and 1929, then worry. But
I know
what
this
happened
is
in
like off
2008
topic.
was because of the Bush administration.
I know this is off topic, but how did we go from time travel to this?
It's still kind of related.
I'll be honest. I don't know. I've been
I'm
I've been
sorry.
asking. I've asked those same questions for the past 10 years. I still don't know how I get to certain topics.
No, the real question you would be wondering is if somehow this conversation went from time traveling to how to get away with murder.
What?
And
Now that would be
okay,
amazing.
in that sense, use poison ivy. If you use poison ivy, then they will specifically have to test for that. And they probably won't, and you can get away with it. And then just throw the body in a pig's pen, take the
Crazy
bones
Frog.
out, crush them
How
up,
do you
and
know
send them
this?
in a river.
I'm
If you
more
use
concerned
vodka,
about-
if you use vodka and bleach to get up blood stains, it doesn't appear as badly on like the.
Hey, the fact that you're a female and telling me this is not helping.
Well, that's because
That's not a good combo.
every female watches How to Get Away with Murder and murder
Female-
documentaries.
I fell asleep to true crime videos
That too.
and Fear Thy Neighbor and almost
Why are
everything
you
on the
watching
ID
true
channel.
crime?
My
Yeah,
mom. I was watching true crime with my mom when I was 10 years old.
No, when I was over at Skell's house, his sister had stuff like Fear Thy Neighbor on. So
Fear Thy Neighbor is one of the best crime shows ever. Other than Blue
Yeah.
Bloods. Blue Bloods is an amazing show.
but it's not great because then you got a bunch of people who think they know how to get away with murder. And that's
Law
I
enforcement.
personally,
law
I
enforcement.
would never try and murder someone. Kidnap is a
There-
different story.
There are a lot of-
Kidnap is a
okay,
different story.
Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of blunders with law enforcement.
Wait,
But if they-
wait. See, we did get to this point.
Okay, I'm
Oh
telling
dear.
I'll
Okay.
see, oh, man.
There-
I only keep my murders in Minecraft, okay? When it gets to real life, I'm gone.
The thing is like there are a lot of blunders in law enforcement, but if law enforcement wants to find you, they will find you.
If they want,
Yeah.
if law
That's why you
enforcement
don't
wants
try
to
to
find,
do murder nowadays.
okay, if law enforcement wants to find Zeno, it's not that hard to find Zeno. Out of everyone,
Yeah.
it's not that hard to find Zeno.
Thanks. No, I'm more scared of Andrew Crooker showing up on my damn doorstep.
No, it wouldn't even be a problem, alright? She wouldn't even be able to get away in time.
Well,
She
yeah, there's
honestly
definitely
wouldn't.
speed.
And then she'd have to be tripping over her dog, having to deal with the birds calling out where she is.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of scrim involved.
They'll bring in those birds into an interrogation room. They just tell everything.
They'll just sing beep beep. I'm a bird. I said beep
Beep,
beep.
beep, I'm a bird.
Hey, baby bird. I said
Like, the dog would rat on you if they gave them her a treat. They would be like, "Where's Zeno?" She'd be like, "Oh, she went here."
Oh, oh no, not this again. That's what I always get from her. What are you mumbling about? Yeah, shut up, though.
Oh, I have a
She-
question.
Hey,
Does anybody want to do a movie night tonight?
you actually
Sure.
go to a little
What
bit.
movie?
Well, pretty much I have to cook first because
Yeah.
8 o'clock, and then
How?
After
Okay, for
8
those
o'clock.
for those who do want to do it, and we'll do it later on. How would you feel about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Yes. Yes.
the original.
Yes.
With,
Yes.
The 19
Oh,
the
yes.
19
Yes.
set-
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Alright.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Damn it!
I think we might be in agreement here, Zena.
I think Crazy said no.
No,
about-
we watched the entire.
I
Star
said
Wars trilogy.
yes. I said yes, Zeno. No.
No, I
No.
heard a no.
I
watched
said
Star
yes.
Wars.
I said yes. I said
Star
yes.
The entire Star Wars trilogy in
Can
order.
can we watch Star Trek instead? Can we watch Star Trek first and then go to Star Wars?
No.
No, it's gonna have to be
Dang
two
it.
different rooms at this point. Never Star Wars do not mix.
Yeah.
What?
But Star Trek.
The two were designed for completely different purposes.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
can we watch the Dunes instead of watching either of those?
Well, we'll just watch Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I think we'll
Willy
just
Wonka.
Willy
keep it
Wonka.
simple. We'll just watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
The only problem with that is I wish I was there so I could eat all the chocolate.
I don't turn into Augustus Gloop, by the way.
No, probably like the first chocolate bar I'd probably die from my allergy. So
Oh. Yeah, I understand the whole trying allergies shit. God damn, man.
Like that's not gonna stop me from trying though.
Well, it will stop you from trying. You tried. and
Technically, it would stop you from trying.
It actually would, yeah.
I mean,
It's a
Because
pretty
you'd only have one shot.
I mean, yes, it technically would, but no, because I would try and eat it, then I'd succeed in eating it, then it would kill me.
Well, that's why it would succeed in stopping you, because I mean, death is kind of a good deterrent from eating chocolate again.
Nah. I mean,
Let me see.
if I were to die, then I could probably come back as a ghost and still eat chocolate. If I think too hard on this.
You did. I did.
I
I need something to off this awkwardness. Zeno, quick, say something.
I'm stupid.
There you go.
Wait, what?
How bananas took over an
Banana.
entire country.
Bananas.
How Pepsi became the 7th largest naval fleet.
Wait,
Third.
what?
Yes.
Third or 5th.
What?
Not Russia.
What? Wait,
Yeah, it's
wait,
true.
what?
Pepsi used to be one of the largest. Used to have one of the largest naval fleets in the world.
Huh.
It's
With-
a weird and wacky
Huh.
story, but it is
It
true.
really was.
Gather around, people, and we'll tell you the story.
I don't think my
So
brain
it
can
all
handle
happened
it.
back in the. Was it back in the 70s or 80s? That
Probably that.
Russia
Yeah.
really
The
liked Pepsi. I think.
Yeah, where Pepsi and Russia made a deal where Russia traded all their old naval ships for Pepsi.
Why?
And that's
Literally.
literally the
Wait,
entire
wait.
story.
Wait, why? What?
Because they loved Pepsi too much, and they didn't want
And-
to.
Yeah, and the
the
Russian
thing is-
economy was terrible at the time.
Yeah, the Russian economy was terrible, and it wasn't sold commonly over there.
I
Yeah.
have so many questions now.
No. Russia just they don't have privileges. They wanted Pepsi, okay? So they traded their naval ship for
But why naval ships?
just like
Out of
Dominic over
everything,
Adidas.
why
Coming back over, don't
those?
worry.
This Pepsi is great.
But naval ships.
There were old naval ships that were retired. They sold them for scrap because they still held their value in scrap. So
Tracy, you don't understand. When you're not privileged, you will trade a naval ship for Pepsi, okay? Like you don't.
I think they probably sold it to some third world country. Like there are
uh,
probably third world countries that are using Russian naval ships
Train's
because
broken,
of that.
guys. Broke her.
What?
I mean, there's
Anyway,
no
I'll be
doubt.
back. I need to go
Uh,
cook.
Okay.
That's the
Yep.
thing. When you get desperate enough, you'll use half broken stuff.
Damn
I'm
right.
half broken. Actually, that's an understatement. I am broken.
No. You haven't been to
Exactly.
Russia yet. So you haven't seen how broken really can get, okay, man? I'll see you back.
I am American broken. How about that?
Yeah.
Yee. Brain doesn't. No. English. Hi, Chris. Hi,
What?
Chris. Hi.
Hi.
I don't know. Hi. English. English is a thing. So, Chris, do you want my cat?
Why would I want your cat?
Because he gives good cuddles?
Is he part Siamese? Does he
Uh,
talk a lot?
Actually, he actually hasn't. He's just been napping all day.
I can't use this break.
Comfort and
Break
safety.
me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Chris, this break is so hard to use.
Like I said, it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to play Dirt Rally where you heavily need to apply the brake.
Oh,